So look at the words involved in sentences A to H. Which ones have an article? Which articles is used? Explain why. So what we have here, the sentence, please. Gustavo, can you read sentence A?
Okay, teacher. I'm a journalist who writes about consumer issues from my base in New York.
Okay, thank you. The next one, please. Can you read sentence number 2, Diego?
Okay, teacher. Local markets are great place to go shopping.
Great places. Yes, very good. Thank you, Ros. Sheila, please, sentence C.
Okay, you can buy everything under the sun there.
Okay, thank you. Luciana, sentence D, please.
D.
Mm-hmm.
If you see an item you like, don't look too interested.
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 Yes, very good. The next one, please, Adrian.
Let the vendor make the first of offer of on the item.
Okay, thank you. The next one, please, Carolina.
The vendor may make a better offer.
Okay, thank you. Lady, please, G.
Buying online is often the cheapest way of shopping.
Very good, thank you. Rocio, please, the last one.
Judicious shoppers are the garage sale elite.
Elite, okay, very good. So tell me, guys, what are the articles in the sentences? In the words in bold. For example, in the first sentence, what is the article here?
The article is about.
About is a preposition, right?
Teacher?
A journalist, okay. What about B? Do we have articles in sentence B?
There isn't.
There isn't, okay. There isn't any articles, right? C.
The.
The. Okay. D.
An.
Okay. E.
The.
Very good. F.
The.
G.
The.
And the last one, the, right? Very good. So we are going to learn a little bit more about these articles. And then we are going to, you have to tell me what are the uses of the articles in these sentences, okay? So I want you to take notes. I want you to pay attention so we can learn a little bit about articles today. So as you can see, we have 3 different articles. Which are they? The 3 different articles?
And the.
Very good. We have a and the, right? These are the articles we use in English, okay? So these articles are classified in 2 different groups, okay? So we have the definite articles and indefinite articles. Which of them do you think are definite articles?
I am.
A and an, okay. Why do you think these are definite articles?
Bueno,
The, why?
because it's on a specific things or objects that we
Okay.
are refer.
Yes, could be. Yes, the is a definite article. And we have a and that are indefinite articles. As your partner said before, we use the when we are talking about something specific. Okay, for example, it is used when the speaker talks about a specific object that both the person speaking and the listener know. Okay, so both know the object or the thing they are talking about. Okay, so it's something specific. For example, and here we have, sorry, the indefinite articles. We use indefinite articles when we don't specify the things or people we are talking about. Okay, so this is the difference when we use the and a and. Okay, this is for something specific. That's why it's the name definite article. And indefinite because it's something that we don't specify. Okay, here we have two examples. I want to buy the computer we saw yesterday in the store. As you can see, in this sentence, I am talking about a specific computer. I am talking about the one we saw yesterday in the store. So the person who is talking with me know the computer and I know the computer. Okay, so both know what computer I am talking about. I am talking about a specific object. Okay, a specific thing. But in the next one, I want to buy a computer. If I say I want to buy a computer, I am not specifying which one. Could be any computer in the world, right? I am not specifying. So this is the difference between the, a, or an, okay? So now we are going to learn in which situations can we use all of them, okay? So pay attention. Here we have a sentence. We are going to read the sentence and then we are going to analyze it, okay? They've just come out with a computer that doesn't need any wires. If the computer is not too far away from a printer, both machines can be connected through infrared. Okay, so in this sentence, this explanation, I want you to tell me where are the articles here? Where are the articles? Do we have any articles here?
A computer.
A computer.
A computer.
The
computer.
The computer.
The computer. Okay. Why do you think in the first part we use a in this one, and in the second we use the? What could be the reason? What could be the reason for this? Why? Why we use a and then the?
Maybe because in the first part, they are talking about one of many computers, and then they are referring of that one computer.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Because in the first sentence introduced the situation and the object.
Okay. And in the second?
In the second, talk about a specific problem of the same object.
Okay. Yes. Okay, yes. In the first one, we use a because we are talking about this object for the first time. Okay. And in the second one, we use the because we are talking about the same object we mentioned before. Okay, we are talking about this computer. Okay, so remember, we can use are or and when you mention an object for the first time. Okay, and we use the when you refer to the same object again. So this is one of the rules for a and the. Okay, here we have some other exercises that can help us. Okay, so I want you to tell me, we are going to read all these sentences and you have to tell me which of them are correct. Number one, the cell phones are very useful for students to do their homework. Cell phones are very useful for students to do their homework. The cell phone is very useful for students to do their homework, and cell phone is very useful for students to do their homework. So, what about these sentences? Which is correct? I want you to go to the first one. Do you think the first sentence is correct?
No,
No.
Why?
because we are talking in general about cell phones.
Okay, so the first one is incorrect, right? And the second is the correct option. Okay, very good. In this sentence, we are talking about a general statement. So that's why we don't use the when we are talking about general statements. Okay, as I said before, I told your partners, we don't need to say the people, okay? Because we are talking in general. So in the second part, what do you think about this one? This number 3, is this correct or incorrect?
I think it's correct, teacher.
Okay, why?
Because it's talking about one thing.
Okay, yes, very good. The first one is the correct one because this is a singular noun. Okay, and the second one is incorrect. So what can we say? We don't use an article when we are talking about general statements. Okay, this is a rule. And we use an article when we are talking about singular nouns. Okay, we can use the when we are talking about something that is singular. Okay, let's go to the next part. He has a problem with technology. He has a problem with the technology. What do you think about this one? Which is the correct?
The first one is correct.
The first one? Why?
Yes.
First one.
Why do you think the first one?
Because we don't know.
The second is the correct.
The second, why?
Because the refer to technology, and technology is only one.
Okay, let's check.
I think not, teacher.
Okay, so the first sentence is the correct. Why? Because in this sentence, we are talking about technology in general, right? Has problem with technology in general. Okay, so here we have another sentence. The technology children use today for their classes didn't exist before. What do you think about this one? Is correct or incorrect?
It's correct.
Why?
Correct.
We are talking about a specific technology.
Yes, we are talking about this specific kind of technology, the one that the children use for their classes. Okay, so this sentence is correct. We are talking about a specific type of technology, right? So when we have uncountable nouns like technology, we use no article, we don't use an article when we are talking about these uncountable nouns in general. But when we specify the type, we can use the. Okay, this is for uncountable nouns. Okay. Let's go to the next example. That was the most technological device I've seen. The first cell phone I bought was too big to carry. The last time Michelle opened her computer was the last Saturday. The last year, I went to the USA to check the new cell phone on the market. We are going to analyze all these sentences, okay? The first one, what do you think about the first one? Is the sentence correct?
No, incorrect.
Incorrect. Why? Why is the sentence incorrect?
It's correct.
It's
It's
correct.
correct, teacher.
Correct.
Why? Why is correct?
Because we are using comparative, maybe.
Comparative. What do you think, guys?
Superlative.
Because
Superlative,
Superlative.
right? Very good.
Yep.
Yes, the sentence is correct because we are using superlative. What is the superlative in this sentence?
The most.
The
most.
most.
The most technological, right? Yes, superlative. What about the second? The first cell phone I bought was too big to carry. Is the sentence correct or incorrect?
I think it's correct, teacher, because we in that sentence specific what kind of cell phone that she or he both.
Okay, could be. Anybody else? What do you think, guys? Is this sentence correct or incorrect?
It's correct because
Correct.
they are speaking about one item.
Okay.
Singular.
What do you think, guys? Yes, the sentence is correct, but it's not the reason. The sentence is correct. Why? Because here we have the first. We use the when we have sequence markers. The first, the second, the third, these are sequence markers. Okay, so yes, we use the definite article the for sequence markers. Okay, number 3. What do you think about number 3? Is this sentence correct?
yes,
Yes?
yes,
Why? Why do you think this sentence is correct?
Me, teacher,
Please?
I think it's correct because it's a time expression. I think it's the last time,
Okay.
and the last is always combined with the word last.
Okay. What do you think, guys? Do you agree with your partner?
because are mentioned a day, Saturday, and it's maybe the last Saturday.
Okay. Thank you.
This second time.
Time expression?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So we are going to analyze the sentence. In this part of the sentence, we are using a sequence marker, and it's correct. The last time, the first, the last. Okay, so it's a sequence marker, so it's correct. But in the second part, we are using the last Saturday. This is the part that is incorrect. Okay, because we don't say the last Saturday or the last year, the last month. With this time expression with last, we don't use the. Okay, so the correct sentence would be the last time Michelle opened her computer was last Saturday. Okay, let's go to the next one. The last year I went to the US to check the new cell phone on the market. What about this one? Is this one correct?
It's incorrect.
Why?
Because there is no es last year.
Again, please.
For the time, teacher, last year. Cuando empezamos no tenemos que decir de, sino last
The
year.
time expression last year.
Time
We don't
expression.
use the with the time expression last year. Very good. Yes, it's incorrect, right? So the correct sentence would be, last year, I went to the US to check the new phone on the market. Very good. So let's check the rules. We can use the when we are talking about superlatives. We always use the with superlatives, right? And we can use the with sequence markers. For example, the first, the second, the third, the last, etc. And we don't use the when we have these time expressions with next, for example, next week, next month, next year. We don't say please. We don't say the next week, the next month, the next year. It's incorrect. Okay. And we don't use the when we are talking about this time expression with last. Last Monday, last week, we don't say the last Monday, como en español. En español decimos el próximo fin de semana, el anterior lunes o el lunes anterior, el anterior fin de semana. Entonces, por eso es que nosotros tendemos a traducir esto y decimos de cuando no lo necesitamos en inglés. ¿Ok? So be careful with these time expressions because we don't use the with these time expressions. Okay? Let's see. What else do we have here? That's all. We are going to complete the grammar panel. Okay? Ahora que ya revisamos un poco el uso de estos articles, me van a decir, aquí dice, which articles is used, explain why. Ok, ¿por qué estamos utilizando los artículos acá? The first one. I'm a journalist who writes about consumer uses from my base in New York. Why do you think we need to use this article here? What do you think?
Because
This is a job.
about a person, only a person who is describe himself.
Not exactly. This is a job, an occupation, right? Always, when you are talking about your occupation or someone else's occupation, you need to use a. I'm a teacher. I'm an accountant. I'm an engineer. I'm an architect. Okay, so always. No puedo decir I'm teacher or I'm engineer. Siempre necesitamos utilizar un artículo. Okay, what about the next one? Why we don't use an article here?
Because local markets is in general.
Very good, because we are talking about something in general, right? C, the sun.
Because it's a unique.
It's something unique, right? It's something specific and it's something that is unique. It's only one in the world, right? Sentence D. If you see an item you like, don't look too interested. Why do we use here an item?
Because it's a singular.
Okay, it's singular, right? Very good. It's singular. It's a singular countable noun, right? And what about this one? Let the vendor make the first offer on the item.
Because it's not one article.
Again, please.
Because it's a one article.
Is
It's
a
a specific. It's a specific.
It's a specific article, or
Yes.
a specific thing or object. And also because we mentioned before an item, so we are repeating for the second time, right? We are mentioning this again. So that's why we use the. What about the next one? The vendor may make a better offer.
It's a specific group of people.
Group of people?
A specific group of people.
It's a specific person, right? That we know, that we are referring to this person. So it's obvious that we are referring to the vendor from the garage sale, for example. So it's obvious that we are referring to this person. So that's why we use the. Buying online is often the cheapest way of shopping. What do you think here?
We use the superlative.
Yes, superlative. This is superlative. And the last one, judicious shoppers are the garage sale elite. What is this? This is a group of people, right? We are talking about shoppers, and we are talking about a group of shoppers. So when we talk about a group of people, we can use the too. Okay. So it says complete 1 to 8 in the grammar panel with sentences A to H in exercise number 1. So you are going to use all these sentences here. Okay. Let's see. A or an plus countable noun. We use a or an to talk about jobs or professions. ¿Qué ejemplo debemos poner ahí?
Journalist.
A, right? Sentence A. I am a journalist who writes, and the rest of the sentence. Very good. Something for the first time. When we talk about something for the first time, when it has not been mentioned before. Which sentence?
If you see an item.
Yes, D, right? If you can see an item. Very good. Good. Number 3. The plus countable or uncountable noun. We use the to talk about a specific member of a group, often when it has already been mentioned. Which of them can we?
H.
H? No, pero
F.
estamos hablando de
F. F. The vendor.
The vendor. Right? Okay. No. No, the vendor is in number 4, right? When there is only one of something, and it is obvious that we are referring to this one thing. Solamente hay un vendedor. Ok, entonces nos referimos a eso. What about number 3? To talk about a specific member of a group, often when it has already been mentioned. Could be a member of a group or a thing. Yes?
Letter B.
No. B? No.
H.
H. H.
No. En H no estamos hablando de una persona o de un objeto. It's E, right? Let the vendor make the first offer on the item. ¿Ok? Aquí estamos hablando de un item. De todos los que hay en la venta, estamos hablando de uno solo. ¿Ok? Number 5. Before a noun that is unique in the world. For example, the sky or the moon.
Sí.
sea, the sun, right? This sentence, you can buy everything under the sun there. To talk about a specific group of people, for example, the Japanese, the unemployed.
Age.
Age, the garage sale elite, right? Very good. Number 7, with ordinal numbers and superlatives. These are the ordinal numbers, right? The sequence markers, the first, the second, the third are ordinal numbers, and also superlatives. What can we say here?
Way.
The cheapest way of shopping. Very good. No article. We don't use a, an, or the when we refer to something in general, rather than giving a specific example. So we can use be, right? Local markets are great places to go shopping. And number 9, with the names of countries, regions, most countries, individual mountains, and lakes. No utilizamos, no, por ejemplo, no decimos de Bolivia o de Santa Cruz, a no ser que el nombre del país sea, para el nombre del país sea necesario utilizar de, como por ejemplo, the United States o the United Kingdom. ¿Ok? Pero para los otros países que no es necesario utilizar, no debemos utilizar de. ¿Ok? Países, también regiones o lagos. Okay, so let's practice these articles on page 149. I want you to go to page 149. Here we have all the rules we have seen. Tenemos todas las reglas que hemos visto, si quieren repasarlas un poquito. O si quieren ayudarse cuando estemos realizando los ejercicios. Okay? Let's do exercise 10.2. Correct the sentences. 2 sentences are already correct. So how do you think we can correct these sentences? Number 1, I think you have broken the ankle and you need to go to the hospital. What do you think? Is there anything to correct here?
An ankle.
An ankle? I think you have broken what? Si fuese an, no diríamos an, sino sería one of your ankles. Si fuese uno solamente. ¿Qué podríamos decir acá? I think you have broken your ankle, right? Your ankle. Number 2, the night market is best market in the city.
Is the best.
The best, right? The best market in the city. Number 3, I have a very strange ambition and I want to cross Sahara on a motorcycle.
The Sahara?
The Sahara, right? Because it's the only one. It's unique, right? The Sahara. Number 4, everyone knows that eating the fruit and vegetables is good for you.
Only eating fruit.
Without the fruit,
Without the. Yes, eating fruit and vegetables. Number 5, I bought a new camera. It's the one I found on that auction site on the internet?
Correct, teacher. It's correct.
Why is correct? Why is this sentence correct?
Because it says the one that I found, I think.
Because the first part of the sentence, they talk about the journal statement, a new camera, and then talk about the same item.
Okay, very good. And also the internet because it's unique, right? It's something unique. What about number 6? If you get room at the Savaria Hotel, you will have a fantastic view of Alps.
A room?
Again, please.
A room? If you get a room?
Yes, if you get a room. Anything else? Anything else to correct?
Maybe the Alps.
The Alps.
The Alps.
Los Alpes. The Alps. Okay. Number 7. Fran's staying at home today because she has a cold.
It's correct.
It's correct. Number 8. I heard an unusual story on the radio this morning.
You say it, teacher.
Unusual.
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 No lo había dicho, dije unusual. Si yo lo hubiese dicho, fuera an unusual.
I think you said.
Yes, an unusual. I heard an unusual. I said I heard unusual. Es que se parecen, pero necesitamos aumentar un an unusual. Okay? Good, very good. Let's go to the next one. Add articles to the text where necessary. I'm going to give you some minutes so you can do it by yourself and then we can check together, okay? So, it says, hi Andy, how's life? Everything okay with me? Although I'm looking for a job at the moment. Is there anything to correct here?
For a job.
For a job.
Right?
I'm looking for a job at the moment. I spent summer working with my uncle because he has a judge here in Ukraine.
I spent the summer.
The summer.
I spent the summer, right? The summer. Anything else?
A judge.
A judge, right?
Yes, he has a judge.
Very good. We weren't taking tourists sailing around Black Sea. It's been fun, but now all tourists are going home and I don't have any work.
The Black Sea.
The Black Sea.
The Black Sea, right? Anything else?
The tourist.
The tourist.
Tourist. The tourist, right? ¿Por qué? Porque aquí ya los mencionamos anteriormente, entonces los estamos volviendo a mencionar. I think I'm going to USA like you. I'm trying to work in tourism in the industry here.
In the tourism industry.
Yes, in the tourism industry, right? Very good. Anything else?
USA. The USA.
USA.
The USA, right? Very good. Good. Let's go to the second part. As you know, I love working with boats, but I'm happy to do anything. I was wondering whether I could find work in hotel, maybe even Foxton Hotel, like you. Anything here?
In the hotel.
In a word, the
In a
Foxton.
hotel.
In a
Yeah,
hotel.
Hotel,
In a
and
hotel.
then maybe
In a
even the
hotel?
Foxton.
In a hotel?
Even the Fox.
The Foxton Hotel, right? Do you think I should send my CV to manager? Anything?
To the manager.
To the manager. Very good. If
Teacher.
there isn't, yes?
Teacher, in these sentences, I could find a work in hotel. Could be I could find a work in the hotel.
No, porque work is uncountable. A job. Si fuese job, sí podríamos decir a job. Okay, pero work, no. Okay. And the next one, if there isn't job there for me, I'll take a look on the internet too.
Isn't a job.
A job. Yes. Can you recommend website where I can search for international jobs?
Recommend a website.
A website.
A website, right? Okay. That's all, I guess, right? Anything else?
It could be teacher for an international jobs.
A ver. Where I can search for here is in plural, right? Jobs. So we don't mix plurals with singular. Recuerden que solamente podemos poner an or a cuando la palabra es contable y es singular. ¿Cierto? Any questions about this exercise? Okay, very good. So let's continue.